Hi, good morning, and welcome to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. We have Nicola here today, who is going to be the moderator. If you have any questions this morning, as usual, oh dear, hold on. Okay, so if you have any questions this morning, you can call in at 718-502-9137. You can also text your question to 718-502-9137. Just a reminder, this program is for information purposes only. If you need legal advice, you can contact me, Antoinette Osborne, at 718-502-9137. That's 718-502-9137. Just a reminder, the office focuses on divorce, immigration, bankruptcy, real estate, and estate matters. We also do eviction proceedings. Unfortunately, we have to kick out some people. That's just life. There is a second office in Jamaica, West Indies that focuses on legal representation if you are seeking to buy or sell property in Jamaica, or if you are looking to wrap up an estate. Good morning, Suzette. Good morning, Amarildo. Brooklyn in the house. Good morning, Amarildo. All right, so this morning, and don't forget to like the live, don't forget to share the live. This may be of benefit to someone, whether it's a family member, a friend, a colleague, someone who may be able to gain some knowledge, and it will be able to assist them in their own application. Good morning, Rosemary. All right, so this morning I wanted to just go over a few procedural matters for people who are looking to file their applications. Don't forget to let us know where you are listening from as well. All right, so women who are married, some of you are telling you're wasting time in these homes, washing, cooking, cleaning, and quinting, and can't get a ring. Ladies, this is not the life I want for you. I would love for you to get some economic benefits just in case it doesn't work out. But in all aspects, marriage does involve an economic benefit. It is not just about love. Yeah? All right. As everyone know, love can't feed hunger belly. For you married women out there who you are filing your applications, you may want to know, how should you file? A married woman has several options. They can use their maiden name, they can use their married name solely, or they can use a hyphenated name. No, and when I say hyphenated, I mean you're taking both your maiden name and your married name. The fact that you only use your maiden name, it does not go against you. New York, however, has their marriage certificate where you can opt to legally change your name. If you have legally changed your name when you're doing your marriage license, then yes, this is the name that you should be using, right? For Jamaica, there is not an endorsement as to a new name like the New York marriage certificate. Morning, Michelle. Morning, Sandy. Morning, Madge. And morning, Karil. All right. So for married women, you have several options. So it's either you're going to use your maiden name, you're going to use your married name, or you're going to hyphenate your name. That option is up to you. People are under a false misconception that if they don't use their married name, that it's going to be held against them. Some people believe that if they use a married name, it makes their application a little bit better. Let me tell you something. You could have used your married name till you're full. If your documents aren't right, if your testimony does not make sense, that does not cause an application to get approved. It is your using your name is not held in a vacuum, and it is the entirety of your whole proceeding. So if you get called into an interview that involves your testimony, it definitely involves the documents that you put in. And my heart goes out to people who get married and you really end up with a kumunono. Yeah, I can't make it plainer than that. You really end up with a piece of crosses. And if I think one of the things, and this is a concept that people are not engaging in like these days. Back in the day, when you're married, well, the law sees you as one entity, right? And this is why in New York, married people, with regards to their deeds, have a stronger protection than the regular person who goes and buys property jointly. The law sees you as one. So, but however, these days, people are just not aligning with that concept, and it is sad. Well, I'd like to tell you that immigration would, in terms of your documentation and even your testimony, they would like you to look at your marriage as you are one. This independent, if you are that independent, then probably marriage is not the way for you. Probably you should stay single. If you can't get into a marriage and know that you're going to be your spouse's ride or die, this is not the way for you. And for some people, marriage may be, I have a girlfriend who says it's a matter of a necessity as to what one person can do for the other. I would like not to think of it as such a business relationship. I would hope that there, when people are getting married, there is some sort of love and hoping for the best. Morning, Renee. All right, so gender. Ucha. This is where we are now in a modern age, and it is a very modern age because you can elect to be whatever gender you identify with. Yeah. So immigration now is cognizant of the fact that people are just, your gender does not have to match your birth certificate, right? And let's say you started your application and you selected that you were a female, but during the application you decided that you are a male, then that is permissible. And this really is the age that we are living in. Good morning, Sebastian. So you can elect whatever sexual orientation you desire that you are. So let's say that you started your application as a male, and during the application you decided that you want to be a female. That's fine with immigration. So the only thing where they're going, and they don't need proof. So I get up this morning and decide that I'm a different sex. Immigration doesn't need proof. Your sex is what you choose it to be, right? And I know island people, this is going to shock you as much as it shocks me, yeah? Because you know how it is in the islands. All right, so with the exception of naturalization certificate, when you're looking to replace it, if you are looking to replace your naturalization certificate, and at the time you were naturalized, you were one sex and then you decided that after you've been naturalized and you've lost your certificate, you have decided to change your sex. And this is, you decided to change your sex. You actually need something from a doctor. And the doctor will say something like this: I am a licensed, whether they are a nurse practitioner, a physician, physician assistant, a psychologist, a social worker, or a therapist. And I have treated or evaluated X in relation to X's gender identity. In my professional opinion, X's gender identity is consistent with a designation of, and then the medical professional says whether you are a male or female. So in reality, a birth certificate don't mean anything, right? Once you opt to choose what sex you identify with, and anybody in New York, when you have to do these sexual harassment trainings, once you are employed anywhere, you have to do these sexual harassment trainings, then you know what I'm talking about. You would have been apprised of this in your training. Yeah. So if you decide that you are of a different sex than what you were born as, that's fine with immigration. All right. Now, whenever you have an interview and just tuning in, welcome everyone to Legally Speaking with Attorney Antoinette Osborne. If you have a question, you can type it in the live, you can text it, you can also call in to 718-502-9137. So Amarilda says, what happens if you have a will, married, and died? All right. So what you have to understand is anyone who has created a will, once you get married, your marriage revokes that will. So anyone who has gotten married, I'm going to encourage you, make sure that you revoke your will. One of the things in New York is that you really can't disinherit your spouse. If you have disinherited your spouse, however, and your spouse doesn't challenge it, then your will stands. But yes, your marriage, if you did not create a will after getting married, then your marriage would revoke your will. So it's as if you never created a will and you operate under the rules of intestacy. All right. So good morning, June. So this morning, I wanted to just go through a few procedures for you because we have people who are going to be filing. We want everybody to get papers in America. Everybody that qualifies, we want them to be able to get legal status and without the hindrance of anything affecting their ability to get documentation in America. So anyone who is filing an application, you have to understand the applications, they do not get thrown away. So what does that mean? Every time you put in an application, your documents form part of the record. And this is why you will hear me say, if you go into an interview and you know that your last application was not a huge file, what you have to understand is when you actually go in on any application, all the applications that you have ever made are placed in one file so the officer can take a look. So just in the event there was not any sort of misrepresentation in your current application, but if in the past there was some fraud or misrepresentation, this gives the officer an opportunity so he can then make a determination as to whether or not you are admissible. And if you have fraud in any application, then you will need a waiver. one of the difficulties with these misrepresentation and fraud in prior applications is the only person who can nearly act like your savior in this is a spouse or a parent who is a US citizen or a legal permanent resident. So if your parent don't have no papers, that naga help you. You need somebody with papers to help you, right? So Sebastian says, Auntie Fumi, when sending an invitation letter to someone, are you required to send your bank statement and your passion data with the invitation letter? That's at your discretion. I'll tell you this. Sometimes these officers don't even look at the invitation letter. I always say with regards to the embassy is how they get up and feel that morning. They may feel like they don't care. They're not approving any visa applications this morning. And they don't even care what documents. You will have people who will go in with sufficient ties, right? And thereafter, you have someone who have absolutely no ties, yet still this person goes in to the interview and they get the visa. It's just a matter of discretion, and I say it's how they feel that morning. Yeah, it is what it is. So your A file, right? So anyone who has any encounter with immigration, you get assigned a number, often called an A number, right? So this number follows you for life so that they can track your documentation and your applications. Sometimes they miss, and one person will have two A numbers. And then the officer will choose which A number they are going to assign to you with the green card application. Now, one of the reasons that it's kind of easier now to put all your files together, because back in the day, you had people who had some serious criminal history. And because these records were not updated in the FBI database, you would find that they would get their citizenship. The problem is now they are now uploading these records. And what you'll find is some people are placed in denaturalization proceedings when it is, and denaturalization, if you're ever going to lose your citizenship, this is a court proceeding, right? So it is an application made by the government in court to take away your citizenship. So yes, you can, even though you have your citizenship, you can lose it, right? And what was happening is, especially under the Trump administration, they were just, once these prints were uploaded and they realized that a lot of people had fraud, and I mean, people who were probably deported more than once, people with some serious criminal history, yeah, they were getting away with this. But now that the prints have been uploaded, it has come to light, and these people are being placed in denaturalization proceedings. So, and your file can be either in a physical paper format or it can be in an electronic format. So just tuning in, guys. Don't forget to share the live. Don't forget to like the live. And if you have any question, you can call in at 718-502-9137. And it's the same number that you'd call in the week to make an appointment. So Amarilda is saying over 50 viewers, why 11 likes? People hit the like. I have no idea, my darling, but it is what it is. So this program on Sunday is really to empower our community. We want to provide you with information that will allow you to remain here legally with your family. We do understand that there unfortunately are some people who they will just never get status. And this is often because of their criminal history. It does bar them, or for people who do not qualify for a waiver, and the fact that you do not qualify for a waiver now does not mean that you can't qualify for a waiver in the future. So don't get disheartened, yeah? All right. So immigration really maintains your files for persons for persons born less than 100 years. Yeah. These files are stored and maintained by the Department of Homeland Security. If you are over 100 years old, then your paperwork is with the National Archives, right? So this is why for people, they want to get into like their ancestry and stuff like that, going all the way back. That's in the National Archives, right? Now, for people who are submitting their applications, I am going to encourage you, make sure that you have signed your applications. If your application is not signed, it will be considered deficient. So, and one of the saddest things is if you have not signed your application, immigration is going to deny it. So even though you have filled out your applications, I want you to ensure you review that box where you need to sign, because one of the hardest things is when you have waited for so long and your application gets denied just because you did not sign it. That's insane. Yeah. So don't forget to sign your application. The fact that immigration accepts your application, it does not go to the merit of your application. It don't mean that your application going to get approved. It just says that they have accepted for processing. So the fact that a receipt notice is issued, I don't want you to believe that your application is going to get approved. You must, absolutely must sign your application, right? Now, one of the things that I find officers are doing, yeah, is they are not only questioning you. For those of you who have interviews, they're not only questioning you if that's your signature on the document. I have seen officers look through signatures to make sure that they match. So your signature is very important, right? Because basically it tells immigration the following: one, you read the application, so you know what the contents are, and there's a reason for this. Two, you have approved the information. So basically, you are saying that whatever you have put in this application is true. And third, and most importantly, which has criminal implications, is that you have certified under penalties of perjury, right? So this is actually immigration, everyone know, is federal. And for you to get a perjury charge, you're going to end up in federal court. And this is not a game, right? So when you sign this application, even on the application itself, there is a specific section that says that it's under penalty of perjury. So I don't want the fact that you didn't go before a notary, you're taking this lightly. These documents are signed under penalty of perjury and can have criminal implications for you. This is why when they catch people in marriage fraud, unfortunately, this is why they can't get prosecuted, because they signed under oath, right? So we don't want your liberty to be at stake. When you sign this documentation, you're basically certifying everything that you have stated in that application is true. And I will tell you this, the only thing they want is your signature. Is that your signature on the document, right? That's it. So you can't say, oh, I filled out this form in blank. Nobody cares. Your signature is placed on a document where you're certifying under penalty of perjury certain factual statements in order to get a benefit. I have never seen judges are tired of, oh, I signed this paperwork in blank. They're tired of hearing that. Uh, Immigration officers are tired of hearing the scam, you signed in blank. Often, some of you have gotten work permits, you've received a benefit from this application. Yeah. Nobody wants to hear your story. And this is why you have to be very cognizant of these vultures who surround you and promise you all manner of things in terms of paperwork, and all they are doing is getting you into serious issues. I had, and it has happened twice in my entire career, where one of the last, anyone who is very much aware of the gentleman in Brooklyn who was filing 1 million VAWA applications. And what is just amazing to me is that this guy was held before doing fraudulent applications by immigration. He was, I don't know if he served time or whatever, but he went back into the community doing the same thing, right? And it caused a lot of individuals to get into serious problems with immigration. And as I stated before, anything that you have filed when you go in for your interview, and this happened to my client because a false application was made on her behalf for which she did reap a benefit. Yeah. Now, the good thing is she would have qualified for a waiver because I made sure that her husband's cancer was extensively discussed in that interview. And the officer was so gracious that a formal waiver application was not requested. I mean, it was more likely than not, even if he had to submit, if she had to submit the waiver application using her husband, she more likely than not would have gotten approved. But I'll tell you this, I want to encourage our community, just be very careful in going out there, letting people fill in these false applications for you, because it is part of the record of your proceedings. And anytime you make an application, that same application is going to come right back to you, right? So we want to encourage you, just be truthful in your applications. Be very vigilant as to whatever someone is putting down on your behalf, and your signature is attached to that application because you're going to be held to it. So just tuning in. Thank you for being here on Sunday mornings. We actually discuss mainly immigration because we are an immigrant community, and we want to ensure that people's applications are meritorious, they're not frivolous, that they can get approved. Some people's whole lifeline is riding on that application. All right, how do you sign your applications? I'm going to say don't get creative where whether your signature gets investigated, it does not match. Sign like how you sign. That is your signature. Yeah. I can't understand some people, you're doing half of a signature. If your signature is deficient, that application is going to get denied. Yeah. Watch your signature, right? All right. Now, for people who, oftentimes you have people who may not be able to read, you can sign like you can put an X, just as if you're making a will. you put an X, you can sign putting an X on your immigration application. That is fine. They are also accepting your signature does not have to be a wet signature. And when I mean wet, it doesn't have to, you don't have to see the ink. They will take a copy of it as long as the copy is of your original signature. For parents, they have their children who are under 14 years old. The parent may actually sign for them. That's fine. That's not a problem, right? But for anyone who is over 14, just like how you have to do your fingerprinting, yeah, commit crime. And I think that we are in such a generation where there's so much moral decay, right? I don't know what's going on with society today. It's like your heart weeps. These children would know wrong from right. It is just heartbreaking with what's going on. I can't understand it, right? No. If it is that you are in a representative capacity, such as a power of attorney. If you have a power of attorney for someone, I'll tell you now, immigration will not accept that power of attorney unless what we call in New York a springing power of attorney. So a regular durable power of attorney is not going to work with them. It has to be a springing power of attorney where it comes to life only because of a disability, right? So the fact that you have a regular durable power of attorney, this is not going to work. You need what New York calls, I don't know what it's called in other states, but in New York, we call it a springing power of attorney, meaning that power of attorney only came into effect as a result of a disability. So your regular power of attorney is not going to work, right? So watch out for these power of attorneys that you are using to qualify you to sign for someone, right? Now, if it is, and they're going to review that power of attorney, don't think they don't read your documents. I remember I was sitting in an interview one day, and the officer went through the bank statement line by line. And I was absolutely amazed because I have never seen something like this. Line by line, the officer actually went through the bank statement. He was not playing. And this is where you have to be knowledgeable as to what you're doing in your life. And rightfully so. And I've even heard a judge say in immigration court, this person alleges that they live in New York, yet the bank transactions are all in California. How is that possible? That makes no sense. If all of your banking transactions and what some officers do, I think it's one bank that I saw did this. I don't think all banks do it. I can't remember the name of the bank, but the bank actually shows whose card is used. And if it's a joint account and it's only one card being used, then it is clear this is only one person account. And this is the seriousness of whether or not, what sort of relationship, what is happening here. You know, obviously you have problems. If a joint account is supposed to be used to jointly pay the bills in the house, how is it only one person using it? It is clear that it's only one person's account, you know? And I will tell anyone this. If someone is gracious enough, because I don't have to, right? And I find people are entitled. If someone is gracious enough to add you to a credit card, right? Or they've added you to a bank account, I think you have to exercise your, especially when you're really not top up the account. I think you have to exercise your discretion as to how you are in fact using the monies. I find, boy, this is where we say you don't have no conscience. Yeah? And I remember my client came in one day and she just couldn't stop crying. She said, Antoinette, as me put the money in the account, our husband just done it. How are you supposed to build with somebody? And this is why when you date somebody, having conversations are so important. Because one of the hardest things is where backside your tribal and the person that tear you down. And anyone who's been in such a relationship would understand what I'm talking about. You are trying to build, and your own spouse is tearing you down. Why? You're trying to buy a house, as you put the money in, them name it. You possibly trying to buy a car, and the car is supposed to be used for the family. Yet there's no opportunity to build on that money because you just have absolutely no conscience. And and you have to watch this. And young people who are getting married, you need to have serious conversations because you need to find out what are people's goals and aims. If it is that you wish to own something in life and the other person does not, I don't know how you're gonna build with that person. And that's just the reality. And I remember one day I had a client who came in and we are just there talking. And he said, Antoinette, everything I did with this woman, right? And at the time, this is a household with two people who made relatively good incomes. But it's such that she not build with him. And you have to be very careful and fearful of negative people. Me? Mm-mm. Your crosses. Me no want you near me. If you're trying to achieve certain things, and every time every time I try to say, me I go buy a house, why I go do that for? What for? No, make we stay here, Aaron. Let me tell you something. I know anybody who come from the islands, whether you're there for family land or you are able to achieve your own piece of the pie. Everybody know in the islands, people like to have home ownership, to own something. Coming here does not change that person's mentality. And if it is that they, in fact, want to own, and you pick up somebody, him not want to own nothing, and as soon as he left the girl, as in life just start change. There are certain people you'll never see growth with. And that is the reality. You will never achieve anything with them. I don't care how you try, or you pray, or you fast. There are certain people you will never grow with because they do not understand the concept of trying to achieve. And let me tell you something, especially women. I don't want you to, when you're picking a partner, look at what they have, because you see, ambition, you can't buy that. You cannot buy ambition. It is priceless. And be careful of these people who you are picking up and them have gold spoon in them mouth, because them lose everything. Them never suffer a day in them life. A lot of them can't bounce back. They don't know what it is to fight. They don't know what it is to struggle. You have to be careful of who you are trying to bring in your life. All right. Now, Suzette says the office address. You want to know the office address, Suzette? It depends on which office you want. I'm not sure. Let me know in the live which office address you're asking for. All right, so let's look at the payment part, because there are three things when they're taking in your packages that they focus on. They focus on whether your documents are signed, whether you have used the proper form, that is the most current form, and they also focus on the monies. Yeah. And sometimes I really need to operate my office like immigration. Them not play with for them money. No, sir. Oh, God. The government don't give change. So if it's $1 over, your file is rejected. And they're not mistrust. If your money's short, your application gets rejected. And that's the reality. They don't play with their monies. And I'll tell you this. I remember I said to my client, I don't know why my spirit did restless with this man. And he brought in a check. I don't like taking checks and sending to immigration. Why? Your account can't get hold. For some reason, somebody could have had people cash fraudulent checks on my account. Yeah. You'd be surprised what goes on in the banking system. So me not really like check. And him come with the check and my spirit just restless with him. Come, no. And I said, I really don't like sending checks to immigration. Me not like check, me not like credit card. Because your credit card, somebody can't use your credit card and it gets shut down. And I said to him, I would prefer if you give her money up. No, Antoinette, where you talk about, man? Start get offended. Where you talk about, Antoinette, the money there, the man, my good. 3 weeks later, the entire thing gets rejected. There is no monies in the account. Are you dumb, fam? My spirit never rang yet. Yeah. Foolishness. So if you send in, right, and it gets rejected, they're going to reject your application as improperly filed. So if you know you don't have the money, some people make pride and all these nonsense. Me not have no pride. Shame tree dead girl. Me not care. Tell the people on money order how hard it is. Some places now, in order to kind of encourage you to come into the place of business, they're selling money order. Them not even charge you for the money order. How they make a money, me not know. They must say I get it on the back end. Some places don't even charge you for this. How hard is it to send in a money order? Not so tough like. Yeah. And then you give them a bounce check, them a reject your application, plus them a charge you for the dishonored fee, $30. And them a sue you for the money, $30. That makes sense? No, sir. Now them not play with them money. Yeah, make sure the fees are correct. And like I said, me personally, me not like using bank account. Me don't like it. Buy money order, that's like cash. Yeah? Nonsense. If you are one of the saddest things, because people may send in like different applications, right? So if you have an application and you break up the money in parts and the main petition gets denied because there was not sufficient monies in your account, they're just going to deny the other applications. And for those applications, they'll refund the money. When people sit down and wait so long for your application to get denied for absolute nonsense, foolishness. Yeah. And for the employers who are doing the premium processing and you pay that very high fee, if your petition gets approved, but the premium processing fee, there was not sufficient funds, they're looking to revoke your approved petition. Don't play with this. I want you to treat this very seriously. This is so not a game. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome. Please let us know where you are listening from. Don't forget to like the live. Don't forget to share the live. Yeah. So you pay the premium processing fee, your application, your petition was approved, but your premium processing fee gets denied. They give you one chance with this. They give you one chance to rectify your payment. You don't respond to that requisition, your case gets denied. It's crazy. And I'm going to encourage you, have your money. Use a money order. It won't hurt. I would rather my application goes through than me trying to use a bank account or use a credit card and then it gets in that because there's no monies there. You know, it's like a woman going out on a date. And ladies, when you go out with these men, I hope you're not having a Bex money. Yeah. What that mean? That mean you go out on the date and it's not going right. You can't get Bex and you have your own money for leave. Yeah? I don't know. I think a concept here is to ask your date to pay 50%. Oh, you'll never see me again. My guy, do you see this here? Do you know the cost? Abi, is it cheap? I'm telling a man something. Cause I think gonna understand. Uno just go shower, uno get ready, and boom, uno ready for on a date. It's different for the woman them. Have a fixed face, we have a fixed ear, yeah, makeup have a do. Probably some of them are wear additional thing to make sure the body look right. And you're asking them to pay 50%? No woman from the... Let me not speak for the other islands, because me don't know what kind of culture how they teach, you know. In a Jamaica, who you ask to pay for half? No Jamaican woman should be going on a date. This is different when you're in the house and you're living with somebody. Yeah, you have to help pay your bills. Me not endorse that. Yeah? Nobody not get no free ride, yeah, so you have to help pay a bill. But you're taking out someone on a date and you expect them to reach into their pocket and pay? Are you mad, fam? Are you dumb? No, sir. I want to find them your money. Not at all. Yeah. So that's how immigration get cross. Immigration get cross like a Jamaican woman. You ask her, you take her out on a date, and you're asking her to help you pay the bill. You know, ignorant. Don't make me carry you downtown. Classy like me there in a Pablo's I buy clocked. Or pings. Don't make me class you. Them serious. So don't have your money. Yeah? Niceness, not there. Yeah. Where? It's like you look for text somebody out and you're broke. Go fix yourself and go fix your life. You know, I can't understand. Oh, you look for, you have to, and let me tell you something, young men. You have to fix yourself first. Don't rush nothing. You have to take care of yourself first. You have to nurture yourself, build yourself. Because when you not take up them woman, you not take up responsibility. Yeah? I know me personally. One day, me did see my brother bring one girl to the house and me say, leave her. You cannot afford her. In problem, no, you cannot afford her. Yeah, it don't make sense. Yeah, man. You say, leave her Jamaica, me see my brother bring this girl in. Where are you going? You broke like dog, you can't. Where I take this a girl? No, sir, me can't. Mm-mm. Have your money up when you're doing your immigration applications. Yeah. All right. So when you have submitted your applications, you're looking for every application gives you the receipt date. That is the date that they received the application. So this is very important. Why? If you are doing a family application and you have a preference category, and when I say preference, you have the different categories you fall in. So if you are a US citizen and you are filing for an adult child, so you are in the first preference category. And this is why your dates are important, because it allows you to determine how long and when your date's gonna get called, right? So when your priority date, when your visa number is now correct. And this is why you have to look at the receipt notices and you have to look at the date. The second category is for the spouses and the children under 21. And that's the second category, let's say section A, right? So it tells you that you are, well, how time wise you are processing. And usually for the green card holders, the spouses and the children under 21, you're looking at a 2-year period. For the second category of 2, that is the adult single children, right, of the green card holders. So you have to emphasize, and this is something that I can't urge you to speak with your children if you're a green card holder. They do not know the processing here. That burden is on you. You have to let them know, as a green card holder, they really can't get married whilst you are filing for them, unless, of course, you have gotten your citizenship. If they get married prior to you filing for your citizenship, then it just kills the application. And this is why people get frustrated. Yeah, this is a family unification thing. However, I swear, with the processing times, first of all, your kids have to wait. And when they are adults, kids have adult things to do. Yet still, people are in their churches, uh, people are attending their mosque. Yeah. Nobody no one in a no relationship. Everybody are get married and them have to stay put. But what it does, as a green card holder, filing for an adult child, it kills your application when these kids get married. Yeah. The third category is a US citizen filing for married children. I think that's taking 13 years, right? And depending on the time that you're filing, most of your grandkids are not going to come. They're going to age out. So the parents are now going to come and they're going to end up filing for that child. Sad. Because after waiting 13 years, a lot of these grandkids get their hopes up that they're going to be able to migrate with the parent, but it's not going to happen. They just age out. Yeah. The last category is the brother to sister, sister to sister, brother to brother, the sibling filing. You're looking at 15 years. That's a long time. And for most of your nieces and nephews are going to age out. When I tell you that's all 15 years to process, I remember my client came and her brothers were like 60. So by the time them get through, them are 75. Me don't know what them are coming for the health care. It is really a long time for the family category. Don't even mention if you come from India, Mexico. Oh my God, I remember when I was filing for my client's stepson from India, and it took so freaking long because they are just on a different wait time. It's insane. It really does take a long time. All right. So you look at the date of receipt, and when it comes to meeting certain deadlines, it is so important that if the deadline falls on a holiday and it is a paper filing, and I'm going to show you the difference. If it is a paper filing and it is a holiday, your receipt notice, because nobody's there on a holiday, so it will be received on the next business day, but it will be treated as if they received it by the deadline. If, however, it is an electronic filing, that means you can file online. And this is where time is going to be of the essence now for a lot of applications, because everything is going electronic, right? No longer can we as attorneys say, well, the court was closed. Not when you file electronically. When you file electronically, the court is open 24/7, because this is a matter of you're touching a button and everything gets filed. You don't have an excuse. And that's just the reality. So if it is an electronic filing, then the deadline is the deadline. You do not get the benefit of a paper file. So you have to watch out for these stated deadlines. It's tough. Yeah. It's just crazy. Right. So look, if you get a requisition, look at the deadline. If you do not meet that deadline, your case gets denied. Yeah, simple. I have had where, I'll tell you this. I had a client where I took the case because of the mother. The mother was my client. We got along well. And I did an application for her. She was successful. So her son was doing the application and she referred them. But the daughter-in-law, when me tell you something, dislike her like poison. I couldn't stand the girl. And my client said, Antoinette, just please, please, just do the case because it's my son. In the midst of it, yeah, man, me and she kick off, man. No, man, me have to terminate my representation. Yeah, man, me not taking this any further. Yeah, man, she stink, man. Me can't explain the attitude. Yeah? Me tell you something, not textiling. Yeah, man. So you're there on your own now, big man. Sorry. All right. So she'll take over because that she want to do from morning. I came off the case. And this is the thing you have to understand. As a client, your attorney is working for you. This styling business and this getting aggravating, it doesn't help your case, because we really have to put your best interests at heart. And if I'm warring with my client, then I'm not the attorney for you. I'm not gonna stay here and war with any client. He's a person, yeah, mama, like peace. When we realize say your crosses, yeah, so I come off of the case. So una go proceed now. Because me see how she stay, me do my retainer in steps. So right now the bus stop at half a tree. Yeah, the bus The bus nah go crossroads. Worse, it nah go town. Right at half a treat stop. Mother call me a few months. Urgent. Remember me come off of the case now. Cause yes, sir, you bring it. Yeah? So you dep on your own. Mother call me urgent. Want picnic case get denied. But I thought this girl was Jesus Christ. And now she stand up like Moses across apart the Red Sea. I said, Antoinette, please. It's my son. Yeah? And you know we want our black men to get papers in America so them really can support them family, right? I'm going to tell us I'm really have to consider this because I don't like the girl. And one of the hardest things is when you help people who you don't like. Yeah, man, really and truly in life, you're supposed to receive a special blessing for that. Because me's a girl, I like him and I'm mixed with you. You never see me shadow. That's how serious. Me's a serious girl. So now, Mr. Send me the paperwork. Let me see what I want. I have to do motion for them. And then the mother call me, Antoinette, thank him, get him green card. Watch how me I bless this crosses girl what me not like. Guys, it's a good youth, right? I will like bless. I said that sometime, but I'm gonna encourage a lot of you. You may have your attorneys. Do not be warring with. Once me see war me gone, you know. Whether in my professional life or my personal life. Yeah, man. Me not fight with you. Oh, no, sir. Where? Fight where? Make them fight out a road. Me not in the foolishness. So let me telling you something. Some woman and man in a them yard as them open them door. Where? Oh, I war with you, sir? Eh? No, sir. Me remember, I never forget me nice, good, clean client. Yeah, the sister must file for the other sister them. You want to see mistake? He knows that the girl them across is from back home in the islands. Yeah? And he bring them crosses girl in a yard. So till the sister get with the friend them, right? And our other sister. So you're coming into your own home, and ladies, don't do this. Don't make a man uncomfortable in his own home. Especially when your bill's getting paid. Yeah, man. So, incoming. Yeah! This is the man's life. The man who used to have peace in his house. Yeah? As him open him door. Yeah! One day, I come home and he hungry. Oh, God. The man hungry, you know, when you're raw and him park the car. Yeah, man. And him park the car now. And him rock. You know, you just done work. Yeah, you're tired, you're hungry, you just want to come home, come relax. And he must smell. Wait, Jesus. Am I hear that? And in there, and he must smell, and he must come through now. I mean, oh God. Lord Jesus. Why this sound like little doubles and curry this and chickpeas this and hey! As he reaching at the kitchen, he opened the pot. Everything scrape out, not even a little piece of gravy. That makes sense? Watch how now bring crosses into your nice marital homes. Yeah, man. You should not be the person dividing and conquering. We want to encourage people to stay in their marriage together, right? Watch your crosses you're encouraging your house. So we are now at the end of the show. Just tuning in. You've been listening Morning KK to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. To make an appointment during the week, you can call 718-502-9137. Have a blessed Sunday. Spend time with your family.